A very good morning, children. Welcome back to our online video class. Children, let's continue our lesson Wet in the Forest. Paragraph 13 onwards, page number 43 and 44. Suddenly, the elephant stopped. I clutched Subrata by his shoulder and whispered into his ears, "Fire!" Up came the dart gun. The animal winced slightly and, pricked by the dart, quickened its pace. We quickened ours accordingly. In about 5 minutes, its hind legs bent under its body, and then it slowly fell over sideways and lay on its side. So, our speaker, the speaker clutched, catching hold of Subrata by his shoulder and whispered into his ears to fire. So he started to tranquilize through the dart gun, and the animal winced. What do you mean by winced? Made a quick and slight movement. So the slight movement was done by the animal slightly and pricked by the dart, quicken its pace. So according to its movement, the team also started to do their work. In about 5 minutes, its hind legs bent under its body. So where it got the hurt, it started to bend its body and it slowly fell over sideways and lay on its side. We approached the animal and closely examined its eyes. The breathing was regular. There appeared to be no immediate cause for worry. The vet confirmed that the body temperature and pulse rate were normal for an elephant, but there was a frightening large abscess around the left knee. So they all went near to the animal and examined its eyes, and they found that the breathing was regular and it was not to get worried. The veterinarian confirmed that the body temperature also and the pulse rate were also normal for an elephant, but there was a frighteningly large abscess around the left knee. What do you mean by abscess? Abscess is a pus-filled, swollen and infected area on the skin or in the body. So when it is infected or it get swollen, so there we find pus filled within the body or the skin. This injured elephant got injured so badly in its legs, so there was a large abscess around the left knee. The vet got to work. A deep cut across the swollen part of the leg brought out a flow of black blood. There was no other visible injury on the elephant and nothing inside the wound. The animal must have got injured stumbling over a cut piece of bamboo or a saw stump. After the necessary treatment of its leg and a shot of long-acting antibiotic, we bandaged the leg more for visual effect than as part of the treatment of its injury. We knew perfectly well that the bandage would not stay more than a moment. Once the elephant was on its legs after being revived with the antidote. So now what does the vet do? He cut across the swollen part of the leg that brought out the black blood from the large abscess. So the elephant was given a shot of long acting antibiotic. So they also knew that when it's get up and also they bandaged around the injured part, but they know that the bandage would not stay more than a moment. Once when the elephant gets up automatically that bandage get loose and it will be removed. We expected the medicines to wear off any minute now, but the elephant showed no sign of waking up, as any healthy elephant should do a few minutes after receiving the antidote. So, due to the medicine, the elephant took a little more time than a usual elephant to revive. So, here it was not able to wake up because of the long acting antibiotic given to the injured animal. The ever helpful villagers who were watching us from a distance brought buckets of water from a nearby stream to pour on the drugged animal to keep its body temperature down. They also brought back the disturbing news that the herd was back and was making quite a bit of commotion just beyond the stream. So the villagers were ever helpful. They were ready to help at any time. So they were watching the rescue team from a distance and they brought buckets of water from a nearby stream in order to pour on the drugged animal with its body temperature down. They also brought back the disturbing news. What was the disturbing news? That the herd, more than 50 herd, was back and was making quite a bit of commotion. They were making a lot of noise. The elephants, a group of elephants, made a lot of noise just beyond the stream. The elephant, having made a couple of unsuccessful attempts as lifting its head, fell back into a deep sleep, gently snoring. So it tried its best, but it could not get up because it is injected. So it fell back into a deep sleep, gently snoring. As responsible managers, we should have stayed around for the moment of its revival. Unfortunately, there was not one sultry strong enough to support a makan on which we could spend the night. Clearly, it would not be possible to spend the night on the ground with about 50 wild elephants just a couple of 100 meters away, eager to come to the aid of their fallen companion. So the injured animal was sleeping because it got injected with a long acting antibiotic. So it was sleeping peacefully. So the rescue team wanted to stay with the injured animal in order to see the revival of the animal. Unfortunately, there was not one sultry strong enough to support a makan. So they didn't find any sultry to support a makan. What do you mean by makan? A platform set up high on a big tree from where people can observe wildlife. So they were not at all means they didn't find any sultry there. So they cannot stay or spend the night, and it would not be possible if at all they want to stay at the ground. It will not be possible because there were 50 wild elephants just a couple of 100 meters away. They were there, so they cannot stay there, so eager to come to the aid of their fallen companion. So those elephants wanted to help. What do you mean by aid? Help of their fallen companion. They wanted to see the fallen companion. The heat and our parched throats forced us to turn back. Reluctantly, we returned to the jeep and went back to the rest house. It was so hot and they were feeling so thirsty. So their throats forced them to turn back to their place. The next day, to our relief, we found that the elephant had revived during the night and the herd had taken it away. The next day, the rescue team came there and they found the elephant had revived. It got revived during the night and the herd had taken it away. So, with that relief, they also went back to their place. So, with this, we are binding up our lesson. So, go through the lesson and read properly and start learning the word meanings. Thank you, children. Have a nice day ahead.